Hello and welcome to Sky Career Talks, where we display why it's great to learn with us and communicate. Today, I'm super excited to have our guest, Skylar Allen Frederick. She is a 2015 graduate from Rutgers, New Brunswick, and she currently leads influencer marketing at Native, a personal care brand based in San Francisco, serves as the president of the board of trustees of Targum Publishing Company, and offers freelance brand and social media strategy for a variety of clients. Skylar, we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're going to dive straight in. Give us some background on your career journey.
Sure. So, like you said, graduated from Rutgers, but really my career started at Rutgers. I got a lot of experience while I was an undergrad student. I was a student while social media was really becoming a thing. I did a lot of internships on campus. I was interning at the School of Communication, the School of Social Work, and I was the intern hired to start social media channels. I was setting up Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts and Facebook pages for all the different schools, and at the same time was working at the Daily Targum on campus and got a lot of my firsthand experience in social media that way. And so when it came time to graduate and find a job, I ended up working in social media. And I went to the University of Virginia, got a job running their social media, ultimately really wanted to move to California, got a job out here, and have been working for e-commerce brands doing organic social for a number of years. Now have made a switch to influencer marketing and have been doing that for the last few months for Native, like you said.
Excellent, excellent. And it really sounds like in your undergraduate experience and now you're really, really busy. And I think that's like a common theme of a lot of people in the social media industry. How do you tackle having so many projects at once? Like, do you have a way that you prioritize or you schedule all the things that you're doing at once?
Oh yeah, boundaries are super important, but tools and keeping yourself organized are really, really helpful in the social media world. There are a lot of great organizational tools that you can use to schedule content ahead of time. You're never really posting actually in real time, which is a great secret and something that I always used all the time, but batching content to keep yourself organized and posting, 2 weeks of content at once really helps keep things organized.
Excellent, excellent. And then too, like another question in that realm is, with all the saturation and all the content that's out there for, new and emerging people in the social media realm, how do you make yourself stick out as a candidate, or how do you make yourself stick out, just personally, like building your own brand as well?
Yeah, my personal brand ended up being actually what got me the job to help me move to San Francisco. It doesn't always work that way, so we'll be super candid there. It's not always something that will happen for everyone, but it can make a really big difference, especially in today's landscape of social media. Especially, I've hired candidates in the past and I will look at their social media profiles if I'm looking to hire someone for the specific role of content creation. I want to see what kind of content they're creating. And oftentimes it's hard to look at brand channels that they've worked for in the past to say, what of that content did they actually do? It's really hard to see ownership there. So I'm going to look at their personal brand channels to see, what content are they creating? Do they have a portfolio of content creation? Even is it on their LinkedIn? Is there a way that I can see content that they're creating? Do they have a presence on social media? Are they on TikTok or on Instagram? Does it make sense for the role that they're applying for? If you're applying for a writing job, even, do you have a blog where you're showcasing the kind of writing that you do? And for me, I was working in higher ed, but I really wanted to be working for a lifestyle brand. So I created a lifestyle brand for myself. And that's how I got a job for a lifestyle brand, because the CEO of that company saw my blog and was like, oh, you know what you're talking about and you can do this. And it worked.
Excellent. Yeah, it really sounds like you have to, in social media, you really have to craft your image to make sure that, what you want is what you're putting out there. What you put out there is what you're going to get back.
Yeah.
And then also too, you are one of our mentors in our Skylinks mentorship program. And, having interviewed people, having worked in the industry for a while, what would you say is the best advice that, you could give to a young student or like anyone who's looking for any mentorship advice? Like, what would you have told, yourself when you were in college, some advice that would help you in your career and not just getting a job?
Yeah, I promise I wasn't told to say this, but truly having a mentor would have been something that would have really helped me, especially working in social media. For me personally, there was definitely a ceiling that I hit in my career about a year ago, where I knew I was kind of done in the organic social world. I hit, the top of where I could possibly go at the company where I was. And I wanted more. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to grow in my career. And I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know what my options were for growth within a marketing career for the next, 5 years. And I didn't really have anyone to turn to. And a mentor would have been really helpful to do that. And, looking back at my career, there would have been a number of different points in which a mentor would have been super helpful to me to figure out, is this the right job? Is this a place where I'm going to learn? Is this the right move for me? And it really, truly would have made a huge difference. And I honestly cannot recommend it enough. We have all this experience, we've done all these different things, and I've made a really big career switch for myself now, and it's not easy to do. So I would be happy to help other people make that switch.
Awesome. And is there like any particular advice, like anything that you've learned along the way in particular that's like really helped you?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the world of social, it's something that is always changing. And realistically, it's different at every company. So the more perspective you can get, I think the more beneficial it will be. And I always tell, every college student that I do end up talking to, even in my role at the Targum on the board of trustees, and I talk to a lot of students there in different college classes that I visit. Just to always be learning, if it's subscribing to newsletters or different publications, that you can just always be learning, because, as we've seen, social media platforms shut down and things change, and my world could disappear very quickly. And, you have to be able to have a career and adapt and figure out, what do things look like if Instagram doesn't work anymore for brands? How do you have a career in the same world? And what does that look like? And the field is always changing. So while you can be learning stuff in the classroom now, you want to make sure that, a year from now, when it comes time to graduate, or, whenever that is, that you can still adapt and be able to, succeed in this field as well. And also, if you want to change your mind and switch fields or switch careers a couple of years from now, or whenever that is too, that you can do that.
Awesome. Hey, well, thank you so much. I mean, I definitely couldn't say it any better myself. Always be involved, craft your personal brand, craft your online image, and also be a part of our Sky Links program. Skylar, like I said, is one of our mentors, and she's glad to help. And once again, Skylar, thank you so much for being a part of the program. Thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of this interview, and thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Take care.